Hello everyone. This is the first video for the chapter Force and Laws of Motion in class 9th syllabus of physics. Okay, so today in the first video I will explain you about the concept of force and inertia. So we will start with the concept of force. As you all know that there are two states of the body. One is the state of rest. Another is the state of motion. Rest, for example, look around you. You can see there are many objects which are at rest, like the walls of your room, they are at rest. Maybe you are sitting on a chair or on your bed or anywhere, then that bed is at rest. So these objects which are not changing their position with respect to the surrounding, they are said to be at rest. But there may be certain things around you which are in motion. For example, someone is opening the door is in motion, or the fan is moving, that we can say it is in motion. Now the thing is, suppose you are holding your phone into your hand, your phone is at rest. Now you want to move your phone. So what will you do? How will you move your phone actually? You will move it with your hands. Okay, you want to move the phone little bit far away from you, you will push the phone. You want to move the phone little bit near you, you will pull the phone. So basically to move your phone, you need to apply push or pull on that phone. That push or pull is called force. So force is a kind of push or pull which can, now it can do number of things. For example, I will explain what a force can do, and this will be definition of force then through any of your favorite game. So I'll take here football. Before playing the football, the players check whether the football is properly inflated or not. Okay, you go, you check the football, press it with your hands or press it with your feet. Means when you are pressing the football, means you are pushing the football down or you are pushing it between your hands. If there is no proper air in the football, it is not properly filled with air, then the football get pressed. Means you apply the force on the football and the force in turn changes the shape of football. Because when you apply the force on the football, its shape changes if it is not properly inflated. So by applying force means a push, force is a push or pull which can change the shape of an object. So this is first thing a force can do. It can change the shape of an object. Now your football is ready to play with. So you take the football in the ground. Before starting the game, the football is kept in the center. Now the football is at rest. One player comes, he kicks the football. When the player kicks the football means he pushes the football and the football comes into motion. So by applying push means by applying force, we can move an object from rest. So force can move an object from rest, means it has changed its state of rest to state of motion. Now while playing, suppose the player kicks it in one direction, another player comes and kicks in another direction. So what happened now? Direction of football changes by kicking, means a kind of pushing. So force can change the direction of motion. Now similarly, while playing, suppose one player kicks it in one direction, another player comes and kicks in the same direction. So what will happen to the speed of the football? The speed will obviously increases. And it can be like that. Suppose a player hits the football, another player comes in its way and just touch the football with his feet. Then what happened? The speed of football decreases. Because he tried to stop the football, but he is not able to. What happened because of that? Speed decreases. So by applying force, we can increase or decrease this speed of object. So it can increase or decrease the speed of an object. So force can increase or decrease the speed of an object. Then is what else it can do? Now finally, when the player target towards the goal, the goalkeeper collects the football. Suppose the goalkeeper is able to collect the football, then what happened? The football stops. Initially it was moving, now the football stops. So what happens? Force can stop a moving object. So this is all what a force can do. Force is a push or pull which can change the shape of an object, like you can change the shape of sponge, move an object from rest, for example you pull a chair, change the direction of motion. Suppose for example in cricket we can take the example, the bowler balls and the batsman hits, so he changes the direction. It can increase or decrease the speed of an object. We can make the chair move fast or we can make the chair move slow by applying the force. It can stop a moving object. When you catch a ball, you stop a moving object. So there are a number of examples. This is all a force can do. So in short, we can say force is a push or pull which can do all these things. Okay. Now, what are the units of force? Force is measured in Newton. So the name is after the name of father of this classical physics, that is Sir Isaac Newton. The units of force is Newton, and whenever you have to write Newton in the symbol, you will write capital N, or otherwise if you have to write full Newton, you will write this one, Newton, all small letters. Like I say, suppose there is a book, okay, I am applying a force of 10 Newton in this direction. So in which direction it will move? From left to right, because here 10 Newton is applied. Now suppose I applied a force of 20 Newton in this direction. Now in which direction this book is likely to move? Wherever the force is more. Say 20 Newton, this is more, so it will move in this direction. Okay, now suppose I will apply the same force, 10 Newton this side and 10 Newton this side. Now will the book be able to move? The answer is no, because you are applying equal and opposite forces on this book. So this book is not able to move. Such kind of forces are called balanced forces. So what are balanced forces? Such that when the result of all these forces, the net result of all these forces is zero on any object, then such forces are called balanced forces. Result is zero means there is no change in the object. If it is at rest, it will remain at rest. If it was moving, it will remain in motion, because your net force applied is 0. 10 in this direction, 10 in this direction. So net force will be 0. Since force is having direction, then it is also a vector quantity. The forces where the net sum of all the forces is 0, they are called balanced forces. And the above, this is the example where the net force is not 0. Such type of forces are called unbalanced forces. Now, balanced forces cannot move an object from rest. They cannot change the direction of motion. They cannot increase or decrease the speed of an object, and they cannot stop a moving object. Balanced forces can only and only change the shape of an object. How come? Suppose you are holding a rubber ball in your hand, you are pressing it from both sides, you are applying equal and opposite forces. So you can change the shape, but you can't do all these things. Yes, unbalanced forces, they can do all these things. Okay, so these are two types of forces: balanced forces and unbalanced forces. Balanced forces, when the total sum of the forces is equal to 0, they are called balanced forces. And when the total sum of forces is non-zero, then that is called unbalanced forces. So this is all about force. We measure the force in Newton. Next comes the second topic for today is inertia. Now, what is inertia? So, like a simple example is, suppose you are doing your work, any one of your favorite work, someone comes and say you, excuse me, can you do this work for me? See, basically this is human nature that we always resist, because we are doing our favorite work, we don't want to leave that work and go to other. Similarly, the bodies, the non-living bodies, you can say, basically every object in this universe is having a tendency to resist any change in its state. Means they don't want to change their state. This tendency is called inertia. Simplest example is, like, you can understand it in a better way. Suppose a fan is rotating, you switch off the fan, but you can see it still rotates for some time. Why? Because it has tendency to rotate, it wants to rotate, it is having inertia of motion. So it resists any change in its state, that is why it continues to move, but ultimately it has to stop because of air resistance and all. So what is inertia? It is the property of the bodies due to which they resist any change in their state. So it is the inherent property in every object. It is the inherent property of any object due to which they resist any change either in its state of rest or state of motion or their direction. When the body resists any change in its state of rest, this is called inertia of rest. When the bodies don't want to change their state of rest, that is called inertia of rest. When they resist any change in their state of motion, that is called inertia of motion. And when the bodies resist any change in their direction, that is called inertia of direction. Inertia of rest, for example, a very heavy cupboard is there. You want to move that cupboard. You applied a small force on the cupboard, but it is not moving at all. Why? Because it has inertia of rest. Okay, if you compare that, you are having a table and a cupboard, which will be having more inertia? Obviously a cupboard, because cupboard is of more mass, it is more heavy. Okay, so we can say inertia is basically measured by the mass. So inertia is also the measure of mass. More is the mass of the body, more is the inertia. So a cupboard has more inertia as compared to table. Like a train is having more inertia as compared to a cycle, because train is heavy as compared to cycle. So inertia of rest means whenever an object resists any change in its state of rest, that is called inertia of rest. Inertia of motion, whenever an object resists any change in its state of motion, that is called inertia of motion. For example, its simplest example is a fan is rotating, you switch off, but the fan keeps on rotating due to inertia of motion. Then there is inertia of direction. When a body resists any change in its direction, that is called inertia of direction. For example, if a ball is rolling or if a car is moving, it will continue to move along the same path until and unless you apply force on the steering wheel to change its direction. Similarly, a ball keeps on moving along a straight line until and unless you change its direction. So, the property of body to resist any change in its direction, that is called inertia of direction. Okay, so these are three types of inertia: inertia of rest, inertia of motion, and inertia of direction. And inertia is basically measured by the mass, or you can say mass is the measure of inertia. More is the mass, more is the inertia. Clear? So this is all about today. We have discussed about force, a push or pull, which can do all these things. Units of force is Newton. Then we have discussed balanced and unbalanced forces, and then about inertia measured by the mass of the object. There is three types of inertia: inertia of rest, inertia of motion, and inertia of direction. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you and have a good day.